Traders, good morning. Happy Good Friday. The market is not even open. All right, now what's funny, Elijah, is now it says the recommended stream rate bit rate is 2500. But when I put it to 2500, it says stream bit rate low. Morning. All right. So, how does the latency look, everybody? That changes everything. That's about as good as it gets for YouTube. Now, on Discord, the longer the stream runs, the latency doesn't change. But on YouTube, let's say we run for 10 hours, no matter what, just between OBS and whatever, it is going to be a few seconds, no matter what. How is everyone doing? Hope we're good. All right, let's start with some questions. There's no market today, right? So fire them away. We should have lots of questions. This is the time. Let's talk about charts, right? Let's leave mindset out of that, right? That's between you and your coach. Okay. Let's talk about charts. Ask me anything about the charts that I know, that you want to know, that you've been messing up. Show me your winning trades. Okay, show me your winning trades, show me your losing trades. Those of you that are still in the learning process, show me your losing trades. Give me the date and the time. Let's dissect these. This is when we can come out of our shell, right? We promote a safe space to learn how to trade correctly. Okay. At any point in time, if we feel that anyone is out of line by what they comment on someone's questions, right? They're gone. Right? Zero tolerance, right? We promote the safest space on the internet. This is where you want to come learn. Let me know what you need help with. Go. Anything on the charts, And this is an open, this is a public YouTube. So please hit the like button. This is the time that you have to hit the like button. It's the only time I ask, right? Let me introduce myself. I forgot that since this is a public stream here. My name is SageFT. My real name is Revan Wood. I'm the coach in the live trading desk at marketflowtrader.com. I've been trading for 26 years on and off, full time for let's say 10 years of that 26 years. I was a losing trader for almost 11. So 10 and a half years. I finally figured it out about 11 years in. Now, My story is a little bit different. I'm an overachiever in the slacking department, right? And the stubbornness department. So that was my ailment. Um, I have been running trading rooms since February 14th of 2011. I have been trading the ES for a little bit longer than that. Well, a little bit longer than that. Not much. Not much longer than that. I cut my teeth. I cut my teeth in the YM. Uh, I looked at the NQ and I said, "Oh, what? Nope." Um, maybe we'll take a look at the YM. Maybe we'll take a look at the YM. Maybe not. I'm going to assume that our patterns work the same way, right? Okay. Questions. Let's go all the way up here. Let me start back here. Okay. So the questions. Robert, have fun. Have fun at the zoo with the fam. Let me get caught up, everybody. Okay. Nick's sick as a dog, still at work. Good thing is you're in a trash truck and nobody bothers you. Good, good. Okay. Haven't been able to trade past week and now back. Excited to learn more about your new chart layouts. Let's go, Dan. Let's go. Putting speed to 2x playback got it down to 1.2 seconds, but it's slowly climbing back. I did notice 1080 is not available this morning, only 720 and under. Yeah, 1080. Here's the way we have to look at this. 1080 doesn't, like, our charts aren't in 1080. Our charts are in what? Nintendo, right? 8-bit. Not literally, right? The 64-bit quad thread super turbocharged flux capacitor, blah, 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 right? Did I upload this chart? Yeah, it's so Kevin Jordan, it is in the strategy room. It's in the strategy room posted there. Okay, I have some, but you are going to get into specifics of logics. Yeah, probably not. Probably not. What would be a sell to close on this chart? That's a good question. That's where we're going to start. That's a good question. Sell to close area, the only one that I would see is when we're in this channel. Okay, that's like if we're just speaking simple logic. That's a good question. And remember, it's hard on this chart because this chart's naked. Another sell to close, let's say we're below the 200, Ryan. Okay. These are good questions. These are great questions. I love it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's look at another one. Let's see if there's, see, they're really hard when you have no levels, like no Mancinis, no pivots, no prior highs, lows, close. Sell to close would have to be using your moving averages. Okay, that's a great question. Tell me if I answered it. Let me go to the next one. Okay. Yesterday you said, let the candle close multiple times. Ah, yes, 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 yes. This is why you hear me say, no fill, no fill, no fill. Good, 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 good. Andy, this changes from when you get shit on and then it goes back and stops you, or when it goes. Okay, so let's look. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look. See, let me find a green over text red. Okay. This is a perfect example. Let me bring it in. There's two things that we have to look at here. Okay. Let's assume that this is all green, green, green. Okay, let's just assume it's green, green, green. How many times, everybody, have we hit the buy stop at 0925? This was actually the trade that I missed yesterday for this exact reason. I got no fill here, right? This is exact reason. Okay, it prints it. It prints it, messes around, and then it goes through it. And you think to yourself, last time I did that, last time I buy stopped right here, it went bink and stopped me out. It happened to somebody in the room yesterday. You know who you are, remember? So, do we have to wait for the bar to close? Is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Because it's a different trade, right? So then you say, okay, well, you bid back in and either you get filled or you don't, is the way that you have to look at it, right? And if you don't get filled, so Andy, this is the perfect chart right here, right now. The question is, if you don't get filled on this limit order, this bid that you would bid at 925, okay, like on the next bar, what do you do? Okay, so now the answer to that question, this is beautiful. The answer to that question is you wait for the next setup, and here's the best part about it. The actual setup fires on the next bar close with a better stop. We have lines drawn to it. We have several lines drawn to it right here. Isn't that cool? We may have gotten no fill here, okay? But instantly our rules kick in. Everything turns green. We have to take this trade no matter what. And we have to choose a stop. Okay, so the stop is either going to be, Andy, this was a great question. Oh yeah, we have two of them drawn, don't we? Can I please just pick this little thing up here? This. Look at me leaning forward. You can't see me. I'm leaning forward trying to click this little thing. Okay, so our stop would either be here, all right, or here. That's still only 2.5 points. Look how beautiful that stop is too. We all want this 3-tick, 4-tick stop and make $700, folks. That's not how trading works. That's not how trading works. Okay, if you're going to have a 3 to 4 tick stop, expect to get stopped out 60% of the time. So then you have to win, what is that? 1.75, 2.25 to 1 every single trade. Okay, so bring that stop out, and you only have to go 1 to 1, 1.5 to 1, 1 to 1 and a runner, right? Look. Because when you have more than one, if you have a bigger stop, right? Okay, that was great. That was great. That was absolutely a perfect question. So should new traders mimic your charts and all the screens you display, or should they focus on one screen, one chart with minimal indicators? Okay. New traders. Good. So if we're talking about, let's think about, there's new trader and then there's someone that comes in that's new to MFT. Two different things. If you're new to trading, just get my workspace and put it on and just save a master of it and then screw it up. And then screw up your trading, right? If you're new to MFT, but you've been trading before, here's exact instructions. Don't change the information that you're doing. What we're going to do is we're going to show you, okay, get with your coach. Your coach, we have two at MFT. You can pick between us, right? We're going to show you how to use the information that you already know. Okay. And we're going to show you how to bring that in. Now, when we talk about the trades that we show at MFT in the live trading desk, these are suggestions for what we personally feel, in our opinion, is the easiest trade to learn, right? So it's our opinion. So if you've been trading for a while, let's get you a process that gets what you already know profitable. And then let's sprinkle in a little bit of what we show you. Okay. I don't want everybody, I think the narrative has been thought that you just do what I'm doing, just do RBIs, just do sword and shields. Absolutely not. That's the disconnect. Okay. If you've been trading for a while, get with your coach and put the plan together to bring it all together. And maybe the RBI GBI fits into your that arrow fits in your quiver. Okay. Great question, Jeff. Do we have access to this cool chart? Yes, you do. If you have had a one-on-one with me, you have access to this cool chart. If not, it's a very simple chart. If you have a power bar and there's a gap in the footprint in that bar, should you still take the power bar? Yes. It's not guaranteed that it's going to come back to that number. And even if it comes back to that number, it could be after you hit your profit target. Profit bar, power bar is a power bar. It's an immediate repricing. Look. This actually is right here, showing the example. Now remember, we don't know if this is going to win or lose up here. We don't know. Okay, we have no idea. So imagine there's going to be right. So this is a power bar, but obviously the stop is too big. So 16 to 10. Yeah, you'd have a 7-point stop, so you'd take a different one. So let's look at a different power bar. Let's say that this one is, well, it kind of is. It kind of is, right? It erases the rest of the red. So let's say that this is all one power bar. And the question is, if we have zeros here, okay, so the left column of the footprint would have zeros, meaning we have an immediate repricing based upon new information to the market. Okay, or some people call that what fair value gaps, or other stuff like that, right? Chooch and chotch and cheech and da. Right? Yes, these are still valid signals, Isaiah. Yes, these are still valid signals. It's just something that we're marked. We have marked, we're watching them. Great question. Okay. My question is what Andy just asked. Chris, did I answer it just enough for you? If not, post more. Besides playful banter, can't imagine, he's never seen that before. Good. What is happening to, what happened? What just happened? What is happening to this chat? Oh, here we go. That was weird. It changes the size of the stop, which, yes, is FOMO, but also flies in the face of a proper trade. No, it's a different trade. Andy. It's the next trade. This is a proper trade. I mean, 2.5 points. That's beautiful, right? It's Teutschner. 2.5. I want a 3.25 point stop. You know why? Because my first target is at least 3.25 points. Now, you make the same amount of money. It doesn't matter what your stop is. It doesn't matter what your first target is, right? If you're doing this correctly, you make the same amount of money no matter what. No matter what. Okay. 326 long at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Let's take a look, everybody. Let's go to the 26th. I want everybody to be posting these trades. Everybody post losing trades. Get them in there. This is your chance for me to, and when we say critique, we don't say this in a negative term. We mean this with the utmost respect. Let's critique your losing trades. 9 a.m. long. Here we go. Okay, let's take this back. Let's bring it in. I have no idea what kind of music I'm listening to. It's good, whatever it is. UPO? Anyone ever heard of UPO? The name of the song is called Godless. Pretty damn good song. Never heard of it. Okay. We're coming in. All right, let's get context. Let's get texture. Let's think about this all the way through. This isn't just, does the candles make a pattern and why did I lose? No. Nah, player. Nah, player. Okay. I remember this. So the first question is, what do we see here, everybody? What do we see here? What's the first thing that catches our eye? So that was 939. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to the end. Okay, we're in narrow range. It was deep narrow range, right? And red. Red. There's the answer I was looking for. It's all red, right? There you go. Okay, so let's move forward, right? Red is what I see. This is 846, 848. Okay. Red. Okay. Where in here does it say go long? This actually is answer. Okay, so Dan C, scroll up to Andy's question. When you said wait for the bar to close when its green overtakes red, what did you mean? Ah. Andy, do you see it? This is proving it. I remember this. I remember almost going long right here. There's no close. Look, there's no close here, right? At 90. Look at that. Let me zoom in so we can actually see. You can see what I'm saying. Okay. This, I almost went long here. Sorry, this is 9 a.m. 3:26, 9 a.m. Seth, let me size the chart correctly. I forgot that it does that. That is my apologies. Here, there. I'm so sorry, everybody. Formatting. I'm still learning. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me go. Let me get these in order. Okay. There's a lot of questions. Hold on one second here. We were at 939. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you before I go to the next question. Okay. Now watch 9 a.m. 3:26, 9 a.m. Let's bring in the KISS chart. Let's just bring in the KISS chart. Okay, this is going to be a testament to this. Okay, my cursor is on 9 a.m. Dan C, this is really going to help you. This is I know everybody has this problem. Look, I did this thousands of times. So I'm empathetic to people that take this 90 long. Okay, now I want you to think about this, right? We have to think about this satirically so we don't get frustrated in real life, right? Think about a fisherman throws that hook out there, right? This is how we have to visualize this. You're the fish. No disrespect. I'm the fish. I'll do me. I'm the fish and I'm hungry, right? And at 90, it's I eat 90s, right? Right here. I eat 90s, right? As a fish, I'm a 90 fish. And I see a little 90 action floating across the water. It doesn't smell right. It doesn't make the same sound, but I bite it, right? Pop. That's how we have to look at it. I know it sounds really silly, but you're never going to forget it because everything here says you are not allowed to go long at all. The event is the only thing that says go long. Trend down. You got red, red, red. Excuse me, you have green, red, red. So that's 2 out of 3 are red, so you don't take it. You're below the 200. You have the 20 that just came through the 200 sloping downwards. We're below the downsloping 20 at a downsloping rate on the candles. So we have slope down, trend down, candles 20. Are you guys following this? Right. Now that we've had time to process this, right? Okay. Mods, this is why I had to write all of them down. This is why the paper that made Joey's head hurt, right? I had to visually write them down. Now you see that as I got further into it, it's 1,296 combos, right? Ryan, are we saying this correctly? Or 1,158 or something like that. I just started to copy and paste, and you get the point. But the way that we look at this folks, this is going to transition into, before I read the next question, okay? This is going to transition into this chart, okay? The position of power is which? Okay, tell me the start times. You guys can see my times now. Okay, tell me the start times of the positions of power on this chart. Okay, let's start. 4:28 a.m. Don't worry about what time it is. Don't worry about how big the move is, right? Just look at the pattern on the chart. 4:28 a.m. It is what? What are we only allowed to trade after 4:28 a.m.? What is it? Go. Only, we can only trade which side? Only. Like there's no question. I can only go blank. Okay. Now let's take that logic. Ryan, that's logic, right? Simple, right? And let's take Dan C. And Dan C, we're not punishing you. Thank you for showing us this. This is life-changing information. Let's take that same logic and let's go over here and let's look at when can we only short. See, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Okay, here is it. So now it says no more longs, right? It says no more longs. Wait for it to start back again. Wait for the line break. Wait for our trade with the line break, and we go, right? Now, look at where it gets murky. Here you go. Yeah, okay. 400 level traders, 300 level traders, you would take a short. Okay, but here's what we know. We can absolutely, with 100% certainty, not buy to open. So Ryan, there's your reverse logic. Where can we not buy to open? is this slope downwards. So Dan C, you got caught right here. I remember this. We were at the lower Keltner and it's like, what is it doing? But this chart said absolutely not. You're waiting for a pullback to short. Okay. So guys, ladies, gentlemen, I hope that really, really opens your eyes to, oh, okay. Now people are probably thinking, let's just get the elephant out of the room. Yeah, but aren't you going to miss this trade? Mm-hmm. Yep. So here's what you have to do. Novel idea, right? When it's like this, you take every single trade. You don't go, well, no, I got the first one. I missed it. No. You take every trade. If it stops you out, you take the trade again until this changes. Watch. And well, how do you know when it's going to change? This is what it looks like. This is when it changes. No more longs. It just stops you out of whatever you're in. That's the end of it. Okay. Or you took profit. It would stop you into money, right? Even if you entered here, whatever. Okay. But when you have a decreasing rate of upward slope, right? Those of you that took calculus, okay, just take a step back and think about what I'm actually showing you here, right? Those of you that took calculus, think about it. What's right here? What's this called where my cursor is? Those of you that took calculus only, please. What is this called? The blank of the blank. Of the hey. So when does the increase begin to so first think about this. This is all math. I'm going to go upper level, but pay attention. We don't have to know the actual math of this. We just need to understand what we're punching into the calculator. Watch. When we start to increase at a decreasing rate, you're doing what? Slowing the trades down, looking for something more methodical. Stops are getting more selective. Okay. And then it goes flat and you go, okay, well, it's got to resume if I'm going to take another trade. Well, it resumes. Okay. Here, this big bar, and it doesn't come back. That's you're anticipating the apex of the parabola. I can actually mathematically do it. I actually know how to do that. It might take me a little bit of Googling, but I do remember. It's only about 3.5 pages with my handwriting. Oh man. The marginal utility, right? How many of you guys remember marginal utility? Very useful, by the way. It's what most businesses run through, right? So here it says no. Now watch this. Sure, you take a long here, you win a little bit, and then it stops you out. Who cares? Here's why you don't care. Because you took all these trades. Now, if you didn't take all these trades, you can't take this trade. That's where people get caught. Matter of fact, this same scenario played out, and I think we saved some people from going long the other day, because this is the late buyers. This is weak buyers, right? Just think about this. Strongest buyers, initial buyers, earliest buyers. Don't look at what time it is, right? That's not relative right now. This is buy only, buy only, buy only, buy only. No buy, 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 no buy. Go on, I'm listening. Buy. Slow your roll. I'll still take longs, but I'm going to go with the smaller size because I've already made a fortune. Okay. And I'll take my longs here. Red overtakes green. Pink, stopped out. Okay. Chilling. Okay. Now think about old losing you. Enjoy it, right? Enjoy it. Okay. Even if you're still not yet profitable, old losing you waits until this fires off to go long. You're frustrated because your stop is right here. Your target, excuse me, your target is right here. This shit doesn't work. What the heck? Oh my goodness. Right. Think about it. While we all T1, everybody's hooting and hollering in the trading room, blah, 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 winner, 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 da, 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 da. And then, no, I tried that. It doesn't work. No, you're late and you traded it incorrectly. That great topic. Okay, now I have so many questions. Give me a second. I'll get to your questions. We have a superstar guest that's going to come in if he's ever awake. It's his choice. It's his day off, right? I didn't pay him to come. Okay, I was at 9:39. Holy moly, we got questions. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Okay. Dan C. Okay, there we go. 7. Okay, there we go. So do I apply the SMA slope to Rev's 2-minute chart? Change the candles. Change the candles to line. Or hide the candles in its SMA 1. There you go. SMA 1, SMA 20, SMA 200. Ryan has it in there, guys. Okay? Rev, based on this, I'm trying to avoid 1422. Green overtakes red. Okay. On what date, sir? Camper Van Seth, 1422 green overtakes red. I just need the date. If I get no fill on my entry, should I just let it go or hit market? Niall, do you ever hear me say I just hit market? Okay. Next. Okay. That's why we have that there. And you can't get frustrated. You can kind of giggle about it and go, see, I was right. Next. The color, guys, the color changing was the one that Magnus gave us in the essentials. Yeah, Niall, you're going to miss a ton of them. We are the market maker, not the market taker. Market orders take liquidity. Market makers limit orders, create liquidity. You and I create liquidity unless our stop is hit. If our stop is hit, we remove the liquidity from the market, and that's us exiting the market. Great question. Great question. And people say, well, why do you do that? Because we have a predefined risk. If you hit market, you're at a different contract size. You're at a wrong stop. You could instantly be over the $500 that you're supposed to be trading. You see how we are market makers only. Our targets are limits. We are making the market. When we see that large offer of 800 contracts at 04, we join the offer. Right? Great question. Great question. You can also turn the chart candlestick to line on close, guys. It's going to look a little bit different, but it's the same thing, okay? What defines a power bar? Is it based off of previous candles, or is it just greater than a certain tick amount? It shadows. Great question. Great question. Great question. This is where we get to be an artiste, and I'm totally plagiarizing this from somebody, so don't think I'm just like some sort of weird copycat. Okay. Let's say, see, this is hard to do. Okay. So we're only looking. Okay, I have to draw this weird. Hold on. This is a great question, so it's very important that I answer it. Okay, give me a second though, because I have to create it. This will make sense. And the first 20 times he drew it, I'm like, what? What do you mean sunshine, blah, blah, blah. Watch. So if we go like this, okay, let's say that we have the sun. Give me a second to draw it. It makes sense once I draw it, right? Okay. This never made sense to me until I just was like, oh my God, why am I making this so complicated? Okay. Let's say that this is the sun. Okay. And the rays are shooting. This is how you know it's a power bar. And this is an exaggerated example, but this is how you want to see it. Let's say that the rays are shooting. Okay. The bigger the bar, the more shade behind here. So now if we go like this, the more shade, the bigger the power bar, the more you call it a power bar. Okay. It's how much red does it erase behind it? Or if it's red, how much green does it erase behind it? Another perfect example. Let's look at a perfect example. And this is kind of why I'm watching the market over Sunday night to see if it reprices. Look at this huge bar right here. This is a power bar. Look at what it erases, excuse me. It erases everything. So now, as you see in my narrative over on the Twitter post, you'll see that I'm really watching this top level here, 16, because this is a power bar. Great question. Great question. If you use EMAs, then just use the multi. You'll see what I mean. Okay, yeah, just there's a multi 3 SMA or something like that, right? Okay, Mario R 10:36 a.m. long in at 53.11.75, stopped out at 53.10. Stop was under the injury. Mario, that was that trade where your stop was too tight. Yep. Yep. Okay, on 313, 10-12 long loser. 313. I don't okay. Oh, trading view will have that. Okay. 313, 10-12 long loser. Okay, let me get my trading view. 313. These are great. These are absolutely wonderful. This is going way back. This is really good. Okay, 313 at 10-12. Let's take a look, folks. Now, remember, we didn't have the KISS chart before that. 10-12. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. Did they get you by one tick? Uh, 313, that's the 12th. Wow, that was weird. Sorry, everybody. That is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Oh, now now Chuck, do you see how everything was pointing down and there was no longs? This would have been a short on the next red overtakes green. Okay. See it? You've got red, red, red. You've got red, red, green. Excuse me. You've got 200 red. You've got 20 red. Okay. Your green candle into the red. So you take the first hook. You actually have a short where you went long on the next red bar. These are good. These are good, everybody. Come on. I know, I do believe there's someone else in the room. If they're here, they'll mention themselves. That got caught in that trade too. And remember what my advice to them was. If you were going to take the long, you had to take it over here on this bar at 10:06, 10:08, whatever time. Great, great, great. What indicator am I using? No indicators. No indicators. No indicators. That was a great question. Is it Nadu or Naldu? Great question. Yeah, dual space. Yeah, that dual from now on, dual space is too close, right? Dan C. From now on, dual space is too close. Okay, Dan. Good, 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 good. Get that. Get everybody needs a coach, right? If you want to be a professional something, okay. Remember when you aspired to be a professional tennis player? Remember when you aspired to be a professional golfer? Remember when you aspired to be a professional luge rider? Huh? What are they called? Losers? Losers. No pun intended. Wow. That was a good one. I don't know about that. Okay, sorry. Have a good day, Robert. Thank you. Happy Easter. Look how safe you stay if you don't trade in the trap zone. Yes. Joey, yes. That's the secret to this bad boy. It's telling you when not to trade. We're all so fixated on when to trade. How is everybody's latency? Give me the lag, please. Give me your lag, please. It should be really good. The new chart, Eagle flying in the strategy room. It is nothing complicated. There's nothing proprietary about it whatsoever. It's just 3 moving averages. That's it. Yeah, Dan, it's the new chart. Just putting it into perspective kind of changes it all. It's just color coded. Red, red, red. Green, green, green is the position of power. Okay, 2 p.m. New York time trade question mark. 2 p.m. New York time trade question mark. What day? What? Please elaborate. Special trades. That's very helpful, but explain it like you chewing tobacco. Basically, it goes up until it doesn't. When it doesn't, stop. Okay, 2 p.m. New York time trade yesterday. Can you analyze 2 p.m.? 2 p.m. trade. Were you long or short? Let's take a look. Okay, here's 2 p.m. yesterday. Okay, so 10:07, 10:07. Remind me 10:07, 10:07, 10:07. That looks great. The lag looks amazing. It's not going to really get any better unless I go on fiber. Well, maybe not even then. Okay. If it tips you with the trap zone entry prior, stay safe instead. Tips you off. Data says if you trade with all green, you are about 70%. That's why you take every trade, because you never know. Okay, the answer, those of you that are not in the live trading desk, okay, the answer to is the next trade going to win or lose is yes. That's the actual answer, right? And people think, well, yeah, but that's vague. No, that's the actual answer. So you have to take every single trade. We have to leave our bias out of it. If all three of them fan green, okay, it's green overtakes red. It's every pattern that you see. Does it stop you out? Oh, dang it. Fire the next one. Okay. So at 2 p.m. yesterday, I see nothing. At 2 p.m., we have 2 out of 3 green. Okay, yesterday green overtakes red, and okay, let me find that, Seth. Thank you. Yesterday, I don't know why I'm doing that. I can do that. There we go. I'm trying to have okay, yesterday 1422. Okay, so 222 green overtakes red. Perfect. Okay, so 222. See how they're all together? Okay, so 222 is right here. Okay, let's bring this down. Okay. Okay, so right here, everything is all together. So we have candles, 20 and 200. It says narrow state, wait for it to expand. So we are avoiding any sort of green overtakes red, red overtakes green until it fans out in whatever direction it was going to go. Great question. Great question. Now, here's another example of why you wait for the bar to close. Right? This would be a short. But if you wait for this bar to close, there is no trade. If you were to just fire it off, if you right, because we have the red turning down, 20 and 200 kind of turning down there. If you were to have taken the short here at 0825, you got nailed. If you waited for this bar to close, you saw that it flipped long 2 bars later. Great questions. Great questions. Okay. What defines a power bar? Okay, we answered that. We're at 10:07. Okay, I see that. I see some trade the first 15 minutes and some don't. Do you take the trade? Yeah, absolutely. If your data says you do, right? If not, you just keep collecting the data. Morning, Brazy. Okay, 328, 1436 bar. Oh, we were just talking about that. See how they're all together, Gabels? This is 328, right? Yeah. See how they're all together? That just says relax. Let it fan out in the next direction. Right here, this is, remember, Gabels, you were getting all antsy. You had to remove your nose from the screen, remember? Okay, meant to say 313 at 9:48 a.m. for pin bar long was a loser, was seeing dual space reversal, and obviously I was wrong. Okay. Okay, Frank at 14:30 long, 53.10. Yesterday, line break, wait, and second signal, green takes red. Okay, 2:30. Oh, yeah, this is all the same thing. Okay, so all of you were having this challenge. Look, see how candles 20 and 200 are the same thing? No mas, no mas, no mas. All of you got caught up yesterday, right? Okay, this is great learning material. This is, mwah. See how it's all together here? Look at everything's together. So now let's look at this keep it simple, silly chart. It's all, and let's blow it up. Yuck. Yucky. Now, we see this in hindsight now, right? So just from now on, the best place to trade is when they're fanned out. Okay? Great. I'm so glad you guys are bringing this to your attention, because now everyone is seeing, this is all beneficial information for all of us. We're all seeing where we're all getting kind of caught, trapped a little bit. Okay, so keep that in mind. That those answers, Kevin Jordan, those answers are in the strategy room. Okay, 326 short loser at 9:16. 326. $9.16 entry. Short. Okay. Good. Let's lock this in. Oh, you got the low. Okay. This okay, Isaiah. It's not that. Yeah, so you didn't wait for the bar to close downwards, right? So I see a lot of I see several things. Let's go through this. Everybody pay attention. Okay. So 926. This is great. Okay, 326. Make sure I'm on the right date. Okay, at 9:26, 9:16. I'm so sorry. 9:16. Late. Isaiah. So this is a really good example of if you okay. This is where Isaiah. This is what you're going to work on, and this is what we're going to talk about today. Um, that stop out wouldn't have been painful if you would have taken the other 7 shorts before it. Not literally 7, but figuratively. If you would have taken all the other red overtakes greens when it turned down, that last one would have just stopped you into profit on an average trade, on an average price. Taking the power bar through the Mancini, I think it's just a good trade that lost, my friend. I think it wouldn't have hurt so bad if you would have taken the green before it, the green before it, and any of those before it. This is a tough one, though. That's a tough one. Late in the move, testing whether it's going to hold 88 or not. Now, obviously, that's in hindsight here, right? But if we're looking at it here, right, and our Mancini's 88, okay, and we were narrow range, right? We don't take a short, deep, narrow range. We just don't. That's the hard part about this, right? Now you can take a pullback, red overtakes green when you're deep short, but taking a power bar short at deep narrow range. Okay. Yeah, and the charts say, yeah. Okay. Please hit the like button, everybody. Please hit the like button. This actually means something. This is a public chat. I'm doing this on my day off. Well, not really my day off. I take that back. I have 1 or 2 more spots for calls. If anyone's gonna need a coaching call, well, everyone needs a coaching call. If you're planning on doing it soon, just do it today. Look at the schedule. I've got 2 today. Okay, fill my day up. Let's get it. Let's make it worth it. Okay. Yesterday at 2:58 p.m., same trade as earlier. Can I explain? Wait for the candle to close. I've been entering first tick off of. So that answers your question. You answered your own question. Okay, thanks. Playing catch up on the stream, Chuck. No problem. Okay, 1452 trade yesterday. Would you enter at 09 or 0950? See, that was a hard one for me. It's not. It's at the VWAP. Okay, so yes, Gabriel, this is the next trade. Confirmed. Yep, that's what I was going to say. Good morning, everybody. Hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. There's 100 people watching. How many likes do we have? I don't know if I can see that. 76. Let's go. I love it. How do I use VWAP to filter out my trades? Just like the 200. Dan, you're making it too complicated, bud. You are making this way too complicated. You have 57 inputs that you're trying to put into your trades. How about you get rid of all of them? Oh yeah, because that's where Niall, that's somehow where your stream refreshed or something like that. Dan, see this chart? Now listen, I'm not introducing anything new when I'm showing you this chart. Okay. I'm introducing nothing new when I'm showing you this chart. I'm removing everything so you can see context and trend. Yeah, and look at what Liv is typing in, right? Look. When he says he, am I safe? Are you a he? I want to confirm this once and for all. Liv, are you a he or her? If he says they, if you say they, I'm gonna laugh. I go by they, them. Shit. I identify as a he. Thank you for identifying, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm removing everything. Okay. And there's nothing magical about this chart. This isn't some sort of pay for indicator. There's no indicators on this chart. Okay. There's 3 moving averages. 1, 20, and 200. Okay. That's it. Or change your candles to line on close, right? You'd have an SMA 1, which would be line on close. How do I use prior days VPOC, VAH, VAL? Isaiah, listen to you. Okay, let's go into the volume profile. Now, when we think about the volume profile, Isaiah's got the questions today, folks. You guys better start digging in your bag. There's 100 people in here. Why is Isaiah the only one asking questions? Okay, the way that I look at this, look, it erased all of my lines again. Why does it keep doing this? Isaiah, I just look at them as points of interest, right? But remember, we're also looking at it. Think of them as reading the tape. Remember my narrative, even when we were way down here, and I know that's why you're asking this question. Okay. Remember my narrative when we were way down here saying, hey, do you guys remember when the 5320, remember when that guy came in and sold the frickin' farm? Oh, yeah. Well, he sold 2,600 times, and that was the top of the stock market. So we kept saying to ourselves, hey, if it ever comes back there, that's absolutely the place that we're watching. So in a roundabout way of answering your question of how I use yesterday's VPOC, that kind of thing, it's subjective, if I'm saying that correctly. Like here, you know, sometimes we have the low value, the low levels, the repricings. So, like, okay, Monday, let's just set the scenario, right? Let's just set the scenario. Monday, Isaiah and chat. This is very important. You see that? Either we open above it or below it, and either we come back to it or we don't. This is the most agreed upon price. Now, I want to remind everyone this was very low volume, okay, but it's still an example. And then what you look for is like, where is the most things that line up? Like here's a great example. Look at what's in this circle right here. And this is just a visual glimpse. Low of whatever day this is. VAH, and then it goes really thin right here. Then you got them loading the boat right here, whatever long or short, we don't know. It's just the highest volume. On this. And we're thinking, what? It goes all the way down. I think of this as like a skeleton key, right? That's what it looks like. Okay, half of one, mirror image. Okay, and then they load the boat here, and you're thinking, hmm, interesting, right? And then watch what happens as we go along to the next. Boom, way above it, right? So now we really are watching this level on the downside. Great question, Isaiah. I know it's clear as mud. I know it's clear as mud. Okay, but it isn't guaranteed that anything is going to move anywhere near that. And if it comes to that, we don't know if it's going to go through it, back above it, or stop right at it. We're just watching those levels. So let's say you short. Well, perfect target. Ah, but why would they go off of this chart when I leave it and they'll just disappear? That's really weird. Are you waiting to set your limit order as soon as the bar closes? Yes. Yes. Hank. Yes. How many times a day do you hear me say, "Oh, no fill. Canceling order"? Okay. Here's the deal. You guys have expectations that you are in this trade. If the market lets you in the trade, you can join them. If not, what do we say, everybody? $327, 10:34 a.m. loser. 327, 10:34 loser. Okay, 10:30, 327, 10:34, 327, 10:34. From now on, we're going to start on this chart. Long or short, Dan? I'm going to guess long. Short. Well, you short at the bottom. I mean, you get a prize for that. I mean, you shorted the exact bottom. Let's look at it. I'm just busting your balls. Let's look at it here. Okay, so 1027. You did short the bottom. Okay, 1020, 10, 10, 1034, 1020. It actually looks right. So let me look at it here. Oh, Ninja Trader, you have so many bugs. You have so many bugs. Oh, look. Okay. So the question earlier was Andy asked, wait for the bar to close for a G overtake R. Good. Look, this is proving the point. If you, Dan C, if the bar would have closed, what would you have taken a short? About 5 or 6, Mario, or let halfway to the target. Yeah, and that's why we have to look at this stuff in hindsight, folks. How do you suggest increasing the size of contracts? I've found it's very easy to get into a comfort zone with a certain amount of risk, but the desire is there to make money. I struggle with that. Bill, you know what? Zach touched on this. He says you trade that size until you get bored, and then you add one more contract. That's it. That's the actual answer. If you yawn when you hit the button again. Yeah, yeah. And hold on, let me see. Oh. That stuff. Yeah, and it's vague, right? But like that's the actual answer. You're like, oh, okay. So Bill, if you're asking that question, there's the answer. And yes, remember the fear of doing something or the anticipation of doing something could be worse than the actual event. We all know this. Oh God, I'm not looking forward to going to the dentist. Oh, every time and then you go there and they just give you a checkup or they say, yeah, it's okay. Should have went a long time ago. Ah. Okay, did I miss anyone? How do you get the SMS to change color from red to green as it moves? Inside the marketflowtrader.com under the essentials tab. If you are not with us, there's a 7-day trial and you can go slide up in there and grab that. Just go to marketflowtrader.com. Anyone have the link? Let's see. Lexi, Elijah. We need a link. I don't have a link. Yes, I do. I need to get a hot button for our open streams. Here you go. Yeah, all the information for that. And that indicator is right there. And it is a free indicator that one of our community members has given to us. There you go. Thank you, Elijah. Yeah, and with a 7-day trial, no commitments afterwards. I mean, just make sure you read it first. And it's in the Essentials tab. Click on Start here, and it'll get you going in the right direction. When you don't get filled in an entry on a trade, how many ticks or points do I wait? Okay, so let's say that we have. Let's make it very, very simple, Mario. Let's say that we have a 5-tick target, and I'm just making this up, right? We normally don't trade for a 5-tick target, but let's just say it. If it gets 4 ticks to it, okay, that means you just got 1 tick ricked. Okay, and we know what happens when 1 tick Rick gets a hold of our lady, right? Yeah, we got it. We got it. Thank you, Lexi and Elijah. Thank you. How do you get the price to color change on the new line on close kiss chart, Rev? How do you get the price to color change on the new line on close kiss chart, Rev? Oh. Change it to SMA 1 instead of line on close candle. Great question. Thank you. I had to read that a couple times, then I had to read Seth's answer. Thank you, Seth. If you were referring to the SMA twitching with colors with every price change, set it to change on tick rather than on candle close. How do you get your chart to zoom out so far on your volume footprint? Make it 15 minutes and do like 30 days. That's a great question there. Let's take a look at that. Let's look at the settings, Isaiah. That's not what I was looking for. Data series. There you go. Days loaded 15, value 15 minute. You can do 30 minute, you can do 1 hour. It's not going to change the way that it looks. Yeah. All right, 100 people in here. Let's get the questions going. 81 likes. Hit that like button, please. This is the only time I will ever ask you for a like. This is the only time. I guess I could go on my phone and hit like, right? Oh, and the link to the 7-day trial is also in the description of this video. Thank you, Lexi. Thank you. Let's look at Bitcoin, shall we? Mm. Mm. It's looking juicy. 4 hours looking good. Mm. Yep. All right, let's get more questions going. 327, 2:26 p.m. losers. Short bar was seeing far away from 20. From now on, we're going to look at it on this chart. This is going to give you the answer, right? 327. Why is Dan the only one asking about his trades? There's 100 people in here. There's 99, sorry. Is this okay? So 327. I want to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Dan. Dan. This is the right time, right? Did you go long or short? Ah, well, you see it right on this chart. Yeah. Now remember, this is just the 200 simple, the 20 simple, and price smoothed out, right? Just one SMA, 20 SMA, 200 SMA. That's it. And when we remove the noise, right, all of the information becomes much clearer. And the way that we have to look at this, everybody, is it's binary. Okay. Literally, it's binary. And what I mean by that is yes, no. Okay, 31934 loser. Okay, we're gonna pull up. I don't know if this chart is gonna go that far back, but I know TradingView will. These are good. These are good, guys. Come, folks, go into your notes and look at all the losing trades that you have. Give them to me. Don't be bashful. Okay, I'll kick anyone out that has anything to say. Okay, this is the safe space to learn, right? Okay, that's going to go back into the March contract. Okay, so it's going to be June. What M? What happened here? ESM 2024. Did it disappear already? What? It won't go back that far. Hold on 1 second here. Senior. Put it on speakerphone here. Copy.
Hey, buddy.
Yo, what's happening?
Yep.
Just mute the stream there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. ESH24. That's right. ESH2024. Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to do it. All right, we got Zach on the phone, everybody. Everybody give a holla to your boy. Okay, yeah, that one won't, for some weird reason, it won't go back. Why is it not doing that? I thought this was the continuous contract. Why is it not? What are you up to today, sir? There, it's shifted. Nope, it won't. It goes to the third. Ha! Well, that one won't work. Okay, looking at my journal from 327, I was afraid to buy green over red at 350. All right. All right, so we got Zach on the phone, everybody. If you guys want to ask him questions about, there was a question, Zach, that they just had about Bill Roberts asked the question. Let me bring it up, and this is right in your alley, Zach. The chat keeps bumping around. Okay, how do you suggest increasing the size of contracts? I've found it's very easy to get into a comfort zone with a certain amount of risk, but the desire is there to make money. I struggle with that.
Okay. Yeah. Really. I mean, there's a couple things that are bridges to cross when you're trying to decide who you want to be when you grow up. I alluded to yesterday on our texting here. There's a lot of people out there that I've known for 10, 15, 20 years that they'll trade the ES and they'll trade 2 to 5 contracts, and they got very good at it. They make between $2,000 and $4,000 a day, and over a 20-day trading month, that's a heck of a lifestyle versus digging ditches. So there are people on the low end there where that's all they really want out of their trading career. And then there's other people like me where 20 years ago, I always had the attitude of begin with the end in mind. I always had the attitude, if I'm going to put in the time and the effort, I don't do any further research for a 100 contract click than I do for a 1 contract click. So my attitude was, if I'm going to do the same level of work, plus a few trips to the therapist, I might as well plan on growing the accounts and getting larger over time. And again, it gets back to some of those topics we were talking about yesterday. Is, to you, what is money? Where does it fall in your priority tree? Some people, they value, like I personally don't have any. I don't have any children. I personally have decided that my trading career and my business career was more important time-wise to me than having children. So that's the kind of time I've dedicated over the last 20 years to getting where we are today. So it takes a lot. Like, you're not just going to spend 3 hours a day staring at charts during the regular trading hours and be able to climb that ladder. It's not enough. You have to, if you're not seeing charts in your sleep, if you're not networking with other significant professionals, which I know are hard to find. A lot of people are full of shit, but to get back to the root question, if your goal is to get from 1 contract to 100 contracts, in my mind, there's only one way to do it safely, and that's to start with 1 contract, trade it perfectly. Now, what I mean by trade it perfectly is, are you taking what I call proper trade by your system definitions? If you're making out of 100 trades, if you're going cowboy even once, then you're not ready to go to 2 contracts. You have to have your rules, your money management rules, your trade rules, set up 1, set up 2, set up 3, how to get into trades, how to get out of trades. Because remember, guys, as you get bigger, you have to consider volume. You can get into a trade for 80 contracts, but you also have to make sure you can get out for 80 contracts. So as you get bigger, there's some volume things to consider, but you got plenty of time to figure that out later on. But you, the best way to get from 1 contract to 2 contracts, quite frankly, is when you're bored. And you'll know it when you're bored of 1 contract. You always hear some of these teachers like Rev that'll say, some people need to get back into their journaling and go back to maybe sim mode or something like that. If you're the type of person where you have the account size and you're trading 5 or 6 contracts and 1 or 2 contracts are just as boring to you as sim mode, then you belong up in the 3s, 4s, and 5s. When you get bored of 5, then you go to 6. When you get bored of 6, you go to 7. And don't rush it. Don't rush it. There's 20 trading days in an average month. That's quite a few swings at quite a few bites at the apple throughout the course of a year. It feels like I started yesterday. It feels like I met Rev yesterday. We've known each other for what, like 15, 18 years?
Yeah, long time.
So 2 decades. I mean, I started back in the AOL dial-up days. So really 2 things. You can't go up to the next contract till you're trading perfectly on proper management, money management and trade management. If you're trading perfectly on both and you're perfectly bored, then you can go up to the next contract, but you got to earn that next contract. You can't just do it because your Uncle Frank, you inherited an extra $100,000. So therefore, proportionally that's 12 contracts. So I'll just go straight to 12. The failure rate at just jumping levels is pretty. I've seen that to be a pretty consistent fact. People that go up too quickly, we'll be back soon. But really, those are 2 things. You got to be trading proper over a large series, and you have to be bored. There's no other way to just go to. I don't want to say there's no other way because we all know people that went to Wharton School of Business, right? And they went to Goldman Sachs, and inherited, nepotistically inherited a $1 billion portfolio, which is different than from what we're doing, right? That's a cookie cutter model, whereas trading is, day trading is an entirely different animal. But to scale up while day trading, to me, is just as simple as those 2 things. You got to be trading properly, no rule breaking. If you're breaking any rules, the absolute worst thing you can do for yourself mentally is to take an improper trade, have that trade make money for you, and then you incorporate that into your system as a bad habit. I'd call those bad trades that win. What's better, a bad trade that wins or a good trade that loses?
Now, those of you that have spoke with me one-on-one, does this sound familiar? Let's get. Okay, most of you that I see typing have spoke with me one-on-one. Does that sound familiar? Let's get a Y in the chat. Okay, right? There's 4 kinds of trades. Okay, guys, there's 97 people in here. Let's go. There's no lag. Let's go. Otherwise, we can just hang up the phone. So Zach, look at all the people that are hitting this. Okay, I've specifically explained exactly what you just said to 265 people one-on-one. So they all are very familiar with what you're talking about, right? So now let's hone in on this. Zach, keep talking about a bad trade that wins. Go on.
Well, we got 4 types of trades, right? So you got winners and you got losers. The financially win or lose. psychologically, we have to get to the point where the only type of trade that we make are proper trades. If you make you've got proper trades that win money, you've got proper trades that lose money, you've got improper trades that make money, and you've got improper trades that lose money. Now, in rank order, the very best thing that you want to be is you want to be someone who takes proper trades that wins money, right? Second best thing is a proper trade that loses money. Yes, proper trade that loses money is better than an improper trade that makes money. As a matter of fact, that's the worst one, because what you're going to find out is, that trade was completely out of system, but I just knew it was going down, so I shorted it, and I made $800, and it was the last trade of the week, and I got to show my wife what a good job I did. Look, the account's up 800 more than it normally would have been, and what you just did there is you went cowboy, and you went off system, and what you did is you reinforced an out of system trade methodology. You really got to be robotic. You hear these things about how if you went to a successful trading floor somewhere in the world and you looked at the trader's face, you wouldn't be able to know whether they're in a trade, out of a trade, up for the day, or down for the day. You really do need to get that way. One of the things I like to tell my friends that are on the ladder, climbing the ladder, becoming great traders, is that you want to treat each trade as if it's only one trade in a series of 10 million trades. If that trade that you just are making right now and are about to exit, if that's only one of 10 million trades, nobody's in here just bored, right? I hope you're all in here trying to become a professional. If you're not trying to become a professional, I don't know what you're doing in here. Just buy a Sudoku book and go to the beach. It's a lot cheaper. But, you have to treat each trade as if it's one of 1 million or one of 10 million. Because if it's one of 10 million, the P&L of that one trade is not going to make you, and it's not going to break you. At least I hope it won't break you if your money management's correct. So that's another little pearl too, is that you really do have to, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, you really do have to work very, very hard dissociating the idea that losing capital or losing money in any one or a series of trades, as long as they're proper trades, they cannot have any effect on your ego. You literally have to do everything you can to get to the point where no one trade, as long as it's proper, matters. Did it win? Did it lose? Doesn't matter. Next.
Our mantra, Zach. The question. So the question is: does the next trade win or lose? Watch the chat. Zach, watch this. I don't know if you can see the chat. Chat. Does the next trade win or lose? Well, watch this. Here's the answer, Zach. Here's the answer. Look at the answer. You see that?
Yeah.
The answer's yes, right? So it's binary. Am I supposed to take this trade? Yes. You fire the laser.
Yeah, really the job of a great professional trader is just somebody who knows what a proper trade looks like, and then their job from there on out is just to get trades off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Mm-hmm. And as long as you've got a stable system with stable money management rules, the P&L will take care of itself.
All right, so we've got two questions. Dan C says, early on, seeing other traders making 10x what you are, how did you remain focused on your trading size and being happy with it?
None of them were ever going to volunteer to pay my rent. So, nor were they going to take my, That's actually a pretty good question, and I think that somehow comes down to your personality style too. Like I can't say never, but I'm not the type of personality style that really cares about what other people are doing. I genuinely want everybody to do well. I am my scholastic sports history. I always enjoyed winning as a team better than I did winning as an individual. I don't find myself ever getting jealous of anybody. If I see somebody doing better than me, the first thing I do is give them a high five. The second thing I want to know is, will you teach me what you like? For example, right now, Rev and I are dealing with this in regards to Mancini. I don't have the first flipping clue how this guy's pulling these levels out of his backside. I don't have. I look left and I'm trying to figure it out. Is that the 618? Is that the closing price from 7 years ago? What the hell is that level that he calls out to the tick, and 8 hours later it bounces off it like it's concrete? I do not have the slightest idea how he gets these levels, and I would be able to pay him. I mean, I'd start my check today for $10 million for him to teach me intimately exactly how he comes to those levels. So I'm not jealous of him. I would love to have this layer of the cake on top of my cake, and add it as a layer of trade knowledge. I'll tell you where, like, Rev and I talk about this all the time. My huge strength is I am great at trade entry. I'm really terrible at trade exit. I leave so much money on the table all the time. I would rather have $100,000 in my pocket than risk, maybe going up to 500,000, but also losing a $250,000. So one of my biggest challenges today, almost 20 years into this, is getting more meat off the bone on a move. Because just like Murphy's Law dictates, whenever I go for a bigger target, it'll go to what my target would have been, and then it whipsaws right back to break even, and then all of a sudden I wasted all that time and effort. So I tend to be a very shallow profiteer in terms of my targeting and exiting. So when I look at something like Mancini, and Mancini can tell me, hey, listen, you're already intra level, you're already long, and this is due to go up another 4 points. That guy gives me 4 points all the time. I'm riding from 30 to 34 just on the back of his damn tweet, X, whatever we're calling it now. So I tell Rev all the time, we got to get a hold of this guy. I mean, an extra 4 points on a move means to me? I mean, here's a blank check. I mean, teach me your shit, bro. So I don't get jealous. I get envious. I want to see people succeed. I would love for someone to knock on my front door and say, hey, here's a system that's got twice the Sharpe ratio of yours. It's twice as good as yours. I would divorce everything I know. Over a 20-year span, I would divorce everything I know for a system that's 2x what I do. And I would gladly pay for that to that person. So I think that comes down to your personality style. I've never looked at somebody bigger than me and felt envious. I mean, I've looked at people bigger than me and said, hey, would you be willing to teach me what you did to make that difference? And I think that just comes back to our root personality style. Like I was a former poor kid, and first time I saw a brand new Mercedes in my town, I went straight to the guy that owned it and said, just like those YouTube videos nowadays, who are you and what do you do? How'd you do it? And not from a jealous way, but from a really, maybe I could be a neurosurgeon someday. That kind of a thought process. So I think it comes down to your personality, but I like mine, and I suggest that way of viewing. I think it'd be a pretty miserable life of, because I mean, there's always somebody taller, faster, smarter, prettier. I mean, I lived in Park City for a little while. There was always a bigger house with a better bottle of cab, with a newer Ferrari, and a hotter Barbie doll wife. And if that's what you're worried about, you're always going to lose the versus game. There's always going to be somebody that has greener grass than you do. I've never in my entire life seen that as a winnable game. So if you see someone that you believe is doing better than you in some metric that you care about, ask them for help. Give them a high five, take them out for a steak dinner, and say, "Hey, will you help me climb that ladder?" That's where I looked at it. I mean, why? Success leaves clues.
Absolutely. Okay, so Jason Manzari, when you went from unprofitable to profitable, was it mainly a mental shift, or did it also relate to technical things? Also, what was that shift?
All right, now we're getting into quantum physics. You are exactly 100% what you paint on your canvas. That is the complete answer, but I'll go into it a little bit more. I've kind of mentioned this a few times on the feed. Everybody talks about, it takes hard work. It took you 20 years, Zach. It took Rev 18 years. I got to get in my chart time. Malcolm Gladwell says 10,000 hours. While there is truth to the fact that repetition is the mother of skill, Michael Jordan was the best basketball player in the world when he was 12. Then he went and proved it. I guarantee you, if you put a sucking cup to his forehead when he was 12, it didn't matter that he got cut from his high school basketball team. It didn't matter that that Dean Smith didn't guarantee him a starting position at UNC. You put a sucking cup on his forehead, and you read his brainwaves. He was already the best basketball player that ever lived. So this is the type of profession where the way you perceive yourself is everything. It's everything. It's not 99%, it's everything. What you expect to have happen to yourself every time you log on is exactly what will happen to yourself. If not today, at least in the short term, that will always prove out. So there was never a day where I was a loser and then one day I was a winner.
I got the chills when you said that.
What's that?
I got the chills when you said that. Whatever you expect when you come in is what you're going to get. It may not be today, but it's going to be that day. So, Zach, what we've been working on is when you write down, I keep moving my stop up too quickly. I keep moving my stop up too quickly. We can't write that. We have to write it as the trader that we are in the future, which would be maybe not in the future, but the trader that we are becoming. It goes along with when you said that Michael Jordan knew he was the best basketball player at 12 years old. That's when we write down our notes from now on. It's not I move my stop up too quickly. It's I only move my stop in process. I only move my stop in process.
Writing rules in the affirmative. This is when I move these are the circumstances by which I move my stop. A, B, C.
Done. That's it.
Yeah, there is no discussion beyond that. Here's a really massive life skill that I use that goes well beyond trading. It goes to physique, health, weight loss, building a business, being a husband, being a dad, racing a car, whatever. There's many different iterations of this, but this is the one that I like. I call it my twin brother. I'm a male, my twin brother, identical in every way. We were born 51 years ago. Identical twin brothers. Now, this is a theoretical brother. I don't have a true identical, but not in the physical. But it's a thought experiment. I have an identical twin brother, 51 years old, and that guy, I call that guy Zach Alpha. I'm Zach Beta. That guy makes all the right decisions. Every 5 minutes of his life, we've got a binary choice to make. Sleep in, hit the snooze button, wake up. Do our morning routine, don't do our morning routine. Be a great husband, don't be a great husband. Go out of your way to give her a kiss, avoid her, don't give her a kiss. So I make these little micro decisions all day, every day, and that adds up to who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Alpha makes no mistakes. He's got 8-pack abs. He's a billionaire. As a matter of fact, I think he's like the #1 engineer at SpaceX right now. I think he forgot to flush the toilet one time, and I saw gold bricks in there. Zach Alpha makes all the right decisions all the time. That's who I'm chasing. That's who I'm competing against.
Mm. So you're not competing against anyone else. You're literally competing against the perfect alpha person that you're trying to become, and maybe not even competing. Right?
I mean, and not to get too religious about it, but I mean, me versus God's template for me.
Sure.
Me versus my ultimate potential.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm never going to be a world-class jockey at 6'3", and I'm never going to be a top 50 player in the NBA at 6'3".
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why would I compete against Shaquille O'Neal? That's not a fair competition for me. But me versus Zach Alpha. That's something I can compete against every day. And because he's alpha, all I can really do to hope to do is tie. But that's my little pacer rabbit that I chase. Me versus my optimal. Mm-hmm. So he is very helpful to me when it comes to my rules for trading. A lot of people get scared out of trades, or sometimes get scared into trades.
Mm-hmm. A
lot of times my slip and check is just to ask him. Now, again, remember, he's a fictional character that I built in my head that makes all the right decisions. I literally do ask him, like, would you do this? Is this with it? Zach Alpha doesn't break any rules. I mean, he defined proper. Would he slip this stop? Would he would he overtrade? Or whatever your Achilles heel tends to be. Mm-hmm. Compare that to Steve Alpha or Revan Alpha or Debbie Alpha. What would she do? So I don't really get caught up in competing with the Joneses too much, or being jealous, or try to chase somebody outside of me. I don't think that's necessarily fair. I admire other people, but the only person I truly compete against is my own potential. And I honestly think that's the only way you can go about it in a healthy manner.
I love it. That's
realizing you're always going to come short because you're not always going to make 100% right choices.
Right, because the alpha you is impeccable, and there is no such thing as perfect. So we're just
he refuses to eat pizza because trans fats, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to eat that fucking pizza.
Sure,
so he'll win on the EPAC ad contest.
Right.
So.
Now we're going to shift it a little bit here. Special Trades asks, now Special Trades, you're probably not going to like this answer. Okay. This is a real answer. Okay. This isn't an ICT on YouTube bullshit answer. Here's the real answer for someone that will actually click the mouse for more contracts than you'll ever make in your life. The question is, do liquidity levels play an important role on your trading system, Zach?
Liquidity levels, meaning level 1 liquidity, like looking at the dome, reading the
whatever people talk about on YouTube, whatever, and I know you don't do the YouTube thing, but whatever people talk about on YouTube, does that impact your trading at all?
The only way it really impacts my trading is that, when you start to get to a big enough click size, a big enough contract size, you can run into trouble. Like for example, like today, is the market even moving? I didn't even look at
It's not
it.
even
I know
open.
I
It's
know
not
the
open.
NYC's closed, but
Yeah, it's all
like,
closed.
okay, so there are certain days like Thanksgiving, for example, where the market is moving, albeit slowly. And I have degenerate friends of mine. They're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to push a trade or two." Like, I'm like, "Just come over to my house. I'll give you the $500." You know, like it could be in a knucklehead. The only way that I really worry about volume, it it's a huge technical tool for me. But the only way in which I really worry about it is to make sure that I can get out of the trade at the prices I need. So, for example, if you have 100, let's say you have 200 contracts on, and the market's real thin. Remember, it's not a video game. You got to get in that trade, but you also have to get out of it. And if your target's 2 points, you know, your system's going to fall apart if your broker, blows your market order, 2 points wide. So that's really that's the major thing that I have actually programmed into my system. Like there are times where I'll actually click into a trade and it blocks me, and it'll give me a little warning as to inadequate volume on the exit. So that's the major way that I but yeah, I mean, volume is, from a physics perspective, I mean, volume is everything. It's the air in the lungs, of the market. So we used to do, Rev and I used to do a lot of work with volume profile. And yeah, I understand how it works and everything, but I just don't. My only fear nowadays is just being able to get my price without getting blown wide open. And that's really the only way that I really fear volume anymore. But that answer your question. Like I know, like, first of all, when you talk to Rev, you're talking to probably one of the top tape readers in the world. He gets very frustrated with me because sometimes he'll try to say, "Well, look at all the volume at this number." I'm like, "Dude, it's flipping around. I'm getting a seizure. I don't know what the hell you're talking about." But some people like the way that I admire Mancini for his levels, I look at Rev for his ability to look at moving targets really damn well. And I really have a lot of respect for their ability to hone that talent. And it's obviously useful information. I would love to adopt it, but every time I sit with Rev, and I just lack that ability, and that is part of my handicap.
Now,
but that also goes to prove that there's more than one way to skin the cat too. So just because Rev can see, just because Rev can read the tape like nobody I've ever seen, doesn't mean if I can't catch up. Just because he's a black belt at tape reading doesn't mean that I can't compete at the tournament and maybe even win. But he's going to go for chokeholds, and I'm going to go for knee locks, and accomplish the same thing. So there's different ways to skin the cat in regards to that. But volume is always critical in one way or another. And probably the most critical way, if you really want to boil it down to simplicities, is, if Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, and everybody's long, you don't want to be short. So, you want to piggyback that whale. You don't want to be, volume chugging heavily long. You don't want to be that hero, the hero guy is trying to take a nick out of the whale. So.
Perfect. Now notice special trades. Notice that liquidity, right? He notice that we don't really call it liquidity levels like it's taught on the internet, because that really is just a bunch of I don't know. It's really weird. Like you could look at so.
Is that something new? I don't know.
No. It's so. There's a guy now, folks. Watch this. Zach, have you ever heard of someone named ICT?
Is that a rapper?
Yeah. See, so folks, all of you that think that ICT is some sort of person that controls the market. Okay, look, I never heard of him until Patrick mentioned him. Zach's never heard of him, right? We've been trading for a very, very, very long time. So when he talks about liquidity levels, all he's talking about is the most agreed upon price or the least agreed upon price. And then he shows it to you in candlestick form. Okay, what Zach is talking about is I'm reading it inside the candles. So when you look at the candles are the scoreboard. So if you're at a basketball game, right, and I think this is what Zach was talking about. When you're at a basketball game, okay, those people that are looking at candles, they're looking at the scoreboard. Okay, I'm reading the tape, so I'm looking at the actual court. And so when people are talking about liquidity levels, okay, all they're talking about is the most agreed upon price or the least agreed upon price. The least agreed upon price would be where there would be a market repricing based upon new information, right? So that's what we mean by liquidity levels. So notice Zach was talking about volume. He's worried about, okay, not getting in the trade, but having the liquidity to get out of the trade. Now, he's not going to hold his whole position for what he sees on the chart as where people agreed upon price and stuff like that. Okay. That's just stuff that you see on YouTube. Okay. So keep that in mind as he's giving you these answers. They may not be what you want to hear, but they're the actual answers. Okay. Next question, Zach. What does your entry look like? What is your favorite pattern? KMA, it's more simple than you think. Go ahead, Zach.
It's when the 34 crosses the 200.
Now, KMA, did you hear that?
That's it. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, right? So look at the chart that's on the screen now. When the 20 crosses the 200, it's go time. Do you see how simple that is? He hits every single trade on the 10 range. You're on the 10 range, right? Or the 8 range? What are you on?
Excuse me. Yeah, I use 10 range.
10 range, right? So he's on the 10 range chart. When the 34 crosses the 200, it's go time. So look at the chart that we're on. We're on the 2-minute chart. We've got a 20 and a 200. When the 20 goes above the 200, it's go time. Now, what he means by that is you take every freaking trade that goes until it changes. You don't discriminate on, oh, this one, that one, I don't want to take this one. You take every trade along the way because you never know which one the next trade is going to win. Okay, now remember, it goes right along with...
Here, Rev, let me jump in real quick. What's funny is, like, let's take that big green runner right there in the middle, like the middle third.
Go on.
Anytime somebody sits with me and they're like, yeah, but this last green extension, you would have lost on that. I'm like, you're damn right I would have. So
next. Right now all the traders that are listening to this, they're going, man, but what if you get stopped out?
Let me just be a little blunt. Who the fuck guaranteed you know losing trades? Who guaranteed you know losing trades? If I came from the future and let me pick any one of you, I like Fast Joey. Fast Joey, I got news for you. I come from the future, and I looked at your last 10 million trades, and I got good news for you. You're worth $100 million. You are so good at what you do. Do you think in that series of 10 million trades that you had one losing trade? How about 3 losing trades in a row? How about 5 losing trades in a row? Would you care? Would you care? No, you have to, like, what's the saying? Forest from the trees. You have to have the bigger perspective. As long as you know that you have the stable system, it's your only job is to keep proper trades, proper money management, and get the next trade off. That's it. It's your own job.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Now, are there some intricacies once you get above 100 contracts? Sure. Because again, it's not a video game. You know, when you get to level 17, you know, the goblins change color. You know, but it doesn't mean that all of a sudden, you know, my 20 EMA now all of a sudden needs to be 23.5 EMA. I mean, it doesn't change that. Where it mostly changes at the larger sizes is just being able to get in and out of trades in terms of having trade partners.
And when we're at the smaller
for the
size,
most
we don't
part.
really think about that, right? We just think about, oh, what is the right levels? What's the right event? But
By the way, Fats Joey, that's a true story. You are going to have a net worth of over 100 million. I do come from the future.
Joey knows it. Joey will tell you that's going to happen. Thank you, baby.
Oh, here's the thing. Again, going back to quantum physics, this isn't woo-woo. This is MIT. You know, you are going to each one of you is going to write your own script. You're going to write your own script. Who are you? We could go to lunch and I could ask you 5 questions, and within those 5 questions, I could tell you how good of a husband you are. I could tell you, what your net worth is. Reasonably, I can tell whether it's growing or shrinking. You know, just by like some people call it tone, like your tone, your temperament. But you know, you talk to. I mean, matter of fact, in healthcare, I don't know how many of you have ever worked in the healthcare field. We've worked directly with cancer patients. When you look at the number one reason why people go into cancer remission, you look at all the different treatment plans they go through. You got people that have cured with acupuncture. You got people that cured with surgery, chemotherapy, radiation. An ayahuasca trip to Costa Rica. You have all different types of treatments, but the one underlying thing that all of them had is their mental constitution said without a fraction of a doubt, it's not my time. So regardless of what they actually physically did, whether it be acupuncture or radiation, the one underlying thing that all cancer survivors had was this unwavering story that, this unwavering constitution said, it's not my time. I'm going to walk my daughter down the aisle. Well, your daughter's 4. Yeah, fuck right.
Yeah, so I can relate to that. When mom just had her PET scan results back on Wednesday, Zach, and they the treatment is working and they've stopped the growth, right? And so this goes right along with what you're saying. If you ask my mom, right? My mom is stage 4. She has months, right? Okay, we're setting the story here. If you ask her what's happening, she just said, well, I just got another 6 months to harass my kids. Okay, so now think about that mindset. Mom, why do you keep taking this chemo drug if it makes you so sick? Okay, that's it. Her answer is to stick around long enough to harass my kids a little bit more. If that's the reason, folks, I'm telling you, listen to what he's saying, right? So relate this to your trading. Do you come with the defeatist attitude every morning? Like I did? I lost for 10 and a half years. Every morning when I woke up, the first thing I thought was, how much am I going to lose today?
Let me tell you real quickly about Rev. Rev had a lot of things going on in his periphery that he was making a mistake in letting those things define him rather than him defining himself. We would spend remember those hours? Every second, from an hour before the market opened until an hour after the market closed, we did chart review. I mean, nobody worked harder than he and I did for years. And the craziest shit was that Rev was calling the market like a psychic. And we kept working with each other. And I kept telling him, like, I can't tell you how many times he would break a keyboard or throw his mouse across the room. And he would just yell. He would yell. He didn't yell at me. He yelled to me on the phone. He goes, "That's it. I'm fucking done." And then he would hang up, and I literally couldn't get a hold of him for sometimes a week. And then when I would finally get a hold of him again and go, "Rev, here's the crazy shit. I've talked to hundreds of traders, and none of them know the market as well as you do. You like for some reason you're going into a hold'em hand. You have all the aces, but somehow you're folding. Like, we need to somehow fix this thing." And some of it had to do with this previous marriage. Some of it had to do with the court system. children and things like that. Some of it had to do with diet. You know, when I first met Rev, he was mainlining Mountain Dew and
Taco
Double Crunch
Bell.
tacos.
No, that was not me. Mm-mm.
That was Rev Beta.
Taco
But
Bell. Oh my God.
no, but we would be talking on the phone, watching the charts, and all of a sudden I hear this woman in the background saying the most horrifically abusive things in the world, and I go, "Is that the TV?" She's like, "No, that's my bride."
That was my ex-wife.
And I'm like, "Yeah, you're getting out ski. You got to get out of there."
Yeah.
You know, so although here's the other thing too is that it would be a rougher road, but if you're going to use MIT physics, quantum physics concept, Rev didn't have to do the traditional thing. Like, he did the traditional things. He filed for divorce. He went through the mediation. And he did the typical physical world alterations. But from an MIT physics perspective, there's thousands of different ways that could have gone if he would have just resorted to everything I touch turns to gold. Everybody that knows me loves me and likes me. Everybody I care about has a great day. Every time the phone rings, it's always someone bringing me great news. Every time I open up my every time my front door rings and I open, it's always somebody bringing me great news or great things. Just like if I could have had the ability to. There's a few things that stuck with him back then, but like if I could have gotten him all the way in that, and it's very difficult to get all the way with that kind of thing, because like how many of us honestly could stand at home plate bottom of the ninth at Yankee Stadium with 2 on, 2 outs, 70,000 people screaming at us, you get the point, right? Like how many of us are going to put it over the left field fence for the walk-off homer? How many of us, really? But to be that guy or to be that girl that can do that, think about what your brain has to actively be doing. That person's got 10 fingers, 10 toes. Why not you? Why not you? So you have, like, I thoroughly encourage each one of you to do this. I don't know if you want to call it a journal or what. I use my iPhone. I used to use iPhone notes. And I literally, I'll type out Zach and the date. And I'll type the date out. For example, like today's entry will be Zach 03292024. And the next thing I'll write is killed. Next. Then I hit return to the next line. Zach 03302024, which is tomorrow, right? And then I'll write down all the great things that are going to happen for me tomorrow. So when I say killed or dead, what am I doing? What am I doing to Zach version 4?
Getting rid of
He's no good. He's obsolete.
Right.
He's not good. He's no good to me anymore.
Right.
I guarantee the trader that logs into TradeStation or NinjaTrader or IB on Monday will be a better trader than I was yesterday. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Perfect.
And I can tell you some crazy stories. Like, I won't get into great detail, but my wife asked me once if I was taking pills. Wee pills. And I'm like, no, why? And she's like, you're rocking my world, dude. And I'm like, nope. But you know what I was doing?
Killing the market.
No, dude, just on my canvas in regards to, my wife. I literally recommitted in my head, like, hey, you know what? I don't want to be an average husband anymore. I want to be a great husband. Do you have red days? Do I have red days, Mario? You tell me.
Isn't it weird that people think that nobody can that there's people in the world that don't have red days? The only person that doesn't have red days is Trader from Amsterdam. He's the only guy that doesn't have red days. Other than that, everyone else in the world.
I mean, Lou doesn't have red days. He's able to pick the hide to the tick. So.
In Lou. All right. So all right. So next question. This is from Isaiah. When you are struggling with something in trading or in life, what forms of self-coaching do you use to overcome those challenges?
I kill it.
There you go. That's the answer, Isaiah.
And you want we'll do, there's so many little silly techniques, but they all work. But I did this with a friend of mine 2 weeks ago. He cheated on it. Like, great husband, great father, went on a business trip, went to the candy shop for the first time in his life, and and he cheated on his wife. And he came back, he's crying his eyes out to me, and he's like, I don't know what to do. If I tell her, she'll divorce me. It'll wreck all of our lives. What do I do? Now, there's a thing in quantum physics that a couple people have termed things like revision. So I said, are you that man? Because I don't see you as that man. Are you that man? And he goes, no. He goes, that's the worst part about it. He goes, it's not what I did. It's not who I did it with. He goes, it's the fact that that's completely out of character for me. And I said, all right. I said, what I want you to do is let's take a piece of paper. And what I want you to do is I want you to write out what happened, in great detail. And he took 5 minutes, and he had 3 pieces of paper. I said, all right, let's go out in the backyard where I smoke my cigars. And we ripped off the piece of paper, and we took one of my lighters, and I said, I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to light these pieces of paper. I said, when you kill the ink on this paper, I want you to rewrite your life, past, present, future. I want you to completely rewrite it. And the more you study quantum physics, the more you'll realize this isn't just woo-woo shit. When you change who you are today, you change who you were yesterday. If you thoroughly work on evolving yourself today, people from your past will come back to you. Like with Facebook, it's very interesting. All of a sudden, I've got people from Facebook from 20 years ago. Last thing that me and Ross Crawford did, we got into a fist fight behind the 7-Eleven. And I had just had nose reconstruction from an accident I was in. And during the fight, he broke my nose again, and he felt horrible about it. I went away to college. I never saw him again, but that was the last time I saw Ross Crawford. Because I've done such a good job of reframing myself and my relationships. Everybody who knows me loves me and likes me. Everybody that I know has a great life and is upticking. Through Facebook, I mean, the guy contacts me, and he contacts me we've always been the best of friends. Nothing's ever been bad. It's amazing how physics can work if you truly go down that rabbit hole and implement it. So, what's interesting about my buddy cheating story is his wife the next day came to him and said, "You seem really different." And she goes, and I just want to let you know that if you ever make a mistake, this is all she said. She goes, if you ever make a mistake, you don't have to give me the details. Just realize I understand that nobody's perfect and that I forgive you. He didn't say a word to her. But after that, killing himself, part of the universal killing that off was actually it's almost like the universe spoke to her too in that ritual. And said, "Hey, you have an awesome husband. He truly did repent, and he killed that portion of himself. You have a great husband. You should rather than be mad, you should actually be grateful for such a great relationship." And I just saw them yesterday, and man, I mean, you would have thought that they just got back from another honeymoon trip or something. This is a stale 20-year-old marriage too. So. Long story short, what do you do if something bad happens? Well, only you can assign meaning to it, right? What's bad?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look back over your life, every time a little door closes, doesn't a bigger door open?
100% of the time.
So if that little door closes hurt, then why let it hurt, knowing what you know now? Like, there was this girl in our high school that everybody was goo over, captain of the cheerleading team. And I asked her to be my prom date. She said yes. And it was going to be a real Ken and Barbie story. It was kind of disgusting. And about a week before we were going to go to the prom, she ends up meeting some college kid at a party. And the college kid's like, oh, I'll go to your prom with you. So she's all of a sudden, high school 101. She's the hot girl that's going to bring the college kid to her prom with her. She breaks it off with me, obviously. I was heartbroken. I mean, high school 101. I was bringing the hot cheerleader to prom, and all of a sudden I was dateless. Well, just like those stupid high school movies, my lab partner was one of those lab rat nerdy girls wearing her protective goggles and her hair pulled back, wearing nerd glasses. It was just like the stupid movies. And I remember she noticed that I was upset. I said, and she's like, "What's the matter?" And I said, "I don't think I'm going to go into prom." She's like, "Yeah, me neither." And I'm like, "Oh, how come you're not going?" She's like, "Oh, no one asked me." And I said, "Yeah, Stacy ended up saying that she didn't want to go with me." And she was saying that, or as I was saying that, I turned around and we were just rapping and blabbing. It was the very first time that I'd ever seen her take her goggles off, take her glasses off, take her hair out of her bun. It was just like the stupid movie. It was so funny. That girl, Joanne, and I went to the prom together. It was in the last 51 years of my life. It might have been one of the most fun nights I've ever had in my life. And you want to know how the cheerleader spent her night? Her fancy fucking boyfriend brought grain alcohols, the fruit soaked in grain alcohol.
Ugh.
And so
jungle juice.
Yeah, so she slammed down all the fruit, and she spent the entire night screaming at the sidewalk.
Screaming at the sidewalk. Let's go.
meanwhile, Joanne and I were inside, having the time of our life, So, so that's another perspective I would add to, like what's bad? When you tell me something's bad, what would define bad? What do you mean? Because in my life's experience and in all of our lives, if you think about how it works, the universe loves you and wants to see you have a great life. It really does. You're not here to suffer. You might be here to learn some lessons along the way, especially when you stubbornly keep your eyes and ears closed. But it really does want you to win. It really does. And if you look back over your life, every single time that you think that you've lost or got hurt, if you really look at what came in the next 6 to 12 months, a bigger door did open that would not have opened if you were in that situation of the little door. So, what exactly was the original question? What do I do when a bad thing happens?
Or... scroll up.
Yeah. You basically just reframe it.
Yeah, when you struggle with something in trading or in life, what forms of self-coaching do you use to overcome those challenges?
If one of you called me this afternoon and said, you're full of shit, I hate you, you're a jerk, I'm human. My heart will hurt for about 3 seconds. We'll hang up the phone and I'll say, God, that didn't feel good. And what I will literally do is I'll sit back, I'll take 3 deep breaths and just say, I like him. He likes me. That conversation went great. I look forward to our next one. And I go on with my day. And I just revised it. The other thing, too, is that we have a real tendency to assign meaning to things where they don't necessarily belong there. Like, one of my pet peeves that really used to bother me is when someone would leave me a voicemail and they would say, Zach, listen, man, I really need you to get a hold of me. Yeah. Listen, man, it's important you get back to me as soon as possible. All right. Thanks, man. Get back to me. Okay. Come on. Get back to me quick. Sounds horrible, right? Sounds like someone's ass is on fire. So I go to call them back and of course they don't answer. It's one of my biggest one of my biggest pet peeves of all time. So, what does my brain immediately go to? My brain goes to assigning meaning, right? And usually, the meaning we tend to assign to things tends to be negative or fight or flight, right? Well, what if by the time that guy actually gets back, we come to find out he won the California Powerball? So point being is who knows? There's no value in assigning meaning. So a lot of times when you say, oh, I had a bad day, what do you mean? Oh, well, I took 4 trades and all 4 of them lost. All right, let's take a look at them. Number one, are they proper? Yeah, they were all proper. Cool. High five. Let's go to lunch. Yeah, but I lost money. Fine, I'll treat. But were they proper? So we tend to assign meaning. That really is the problem. We tend to assign negative meaning to things that are just simply data points to be measured and grow from.
Mm-hmm. Like when people say, "Oh, today's a shitty day to trade," it's like, is it? I don't know. I'm green, so it can't be that bad.
Dude, all the time people will say like, "Oh, I didn't have any setups today. Today was a shitty day in the market." And I'm sitting there looking at my P&L. I'm like, fuck, I took twice my normal trades. I made 3 times my normal P&L.
Right. Yeah, we're finding that a lot. Right. And so the way that we look at that.
But why? Because I woke up that morning saying, I'm the best trader in the world. Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing too, is that some of you that have known me from a few months ago and we first got on here, I tend to be very warlord, very aggressive with my psychology when it comes to trading. Do any of you know the reason why you are allowed to trade? We all know that the banks rotate the planet, right? Why do they allow your little stinking account? Why do they allow you to put your 50 grand in the market? Why do they allow you to put your 100 grand in the market? Anybody know the answer to that? Why do they allow you to?
They need lube.
To take it. Exactly right, Clyde. Yep, to take it. Andy, yep. They are not allowing there to be a market because they think it's fun and their main method of producing income is their tiny little fee. No, they know that in a 6-month period, 90% of you are going to dump that money into their market, trickle up, right? So if you know that that's the lay of the land, this is a zero-sum war. I have to take money out of the market every day. It's me versus you.
Looking for a success.
It's me versus them. And these are institutions that have floors of quant physicists just writing lines of code that are meant to do nothing but suck the money right out of your pocket. So when I talk about things like quantum physics and mentality and vision and expectation and Zach Alpha versus Zach Beta, I'm telling you, don't overlook that stuff, because that to me, that's really the thing that makes all the difference. It's not specifically, where do I ladder into a trade and where do I ladder out? I mean, I know this sounds frustrating, especially those of you that are on the beginning side of things, but there's 100 systems out there that work. There's 1,000 systems out there that work. Red short, green long. Okay, there you go. I just gave you one. Mm-hmm. But it's this mentality, I swear to you, it's this mentality that makes all the difference. It's you versus JP Morgan. It's you versus Credit Suisse. It's you versus Zach. It's you versus Rev. And guess what? You're not taking my money. You're not taking my money. And it's zero sum. So you really do have to come to this thing sharp. It's not like becoming a master baker. and there's nobody in the world that wants to see you not make a great cake. No, this is an adversarial business. This is an adversarial business. When I look at my P&L the other day and there's $5 in there, I took it from somebody. So you can't just wake up and wipe the snot out of your eye and have a cup of coffee and come to the terminal and scratch your groin and listen to Rev for a little bit, slap the dog on the ass, and then click a trade. Like if that's what you're doing, run. Don't walk, run, and get a day job.
Yeah, we focus on that a lot. You can't just do that. You can't just show up 5 minutes before the market opens and click the mouse. It doesn't work.
Or if you were to show up 5 minutes before, you better be coming in looking like a Zen monk.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You better levitate into the room, and not literally, but you better come in. You better come in with every cylinder charging.
Right. All right. So last question here. We've got about 20 minutes before we got to get going. Okay. So Andy Young says, Zach, FOMO is human nature. Everyone feels it. How do you kill it? Last question.
I don't think everybody has a fear of missing out. I mean, specifically trading or everything in life.
Sure.
That's not true for me at all. If I love the next 5 minutes of my life, the fact that you guys went skydiving and had 10x better time than I did, I'll just give you a high five and meet you for a beer later. There's 0% of me that says, oh shit. My wife goes, what's the matter, Zach? I'm like, they went skydiving and nobody even invited me. Damn. Like, I don't know. I mean, am I missing the question? I don't know. When it comes to trading, I can enter the trade on any tick. It doesn't have to be red or green. I don't give a shit what the volume. Make me short into an uptrend. I'll show you how. I mean, I might lose, but I mean, like, just because a trade goes by and everybody on the planet profits from it, but me, because I had to go to the bathroom. I don't believe everybody has the fear of missing out. I don't.
All right, now look at Andy. Andy's one of our mods, and he's fully cognizant of what you're saying. The rest of you, what he's saying is, this is the mindset that you have to have. You can't. FOMO only exists in your brain because you think about it. And so what we do is we want to just kind of get rid of it. But how do we get rid of it? You stop it. You just stop it. Remember, first you recognize the unwanted behavior or action. Then you stop the unwanted behavior or action, and then you reverse engineer the unwanted behavior or action. In this case, reverse engineering the FOMO is stopping the FOMO. Now, let's break FOMO apart. Fear of missing out, right? So first there's an emotion or a feeling. Okay, then there's the action or the reaction. The way to get rid of FOMO okay, we're going to talk about trading now, and this will as you get better at trading, your life becomes better on the outside, right? That's just how this works. First thing we do is recognize the emotion, the fear. Okay, then we have to realize that there's only 3 things that control the market: fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and fear, emotion. And so if we know that emotion runs the market and it shouldn't be there, what's the first thing we're going to get rid of? Emotion. Okay, so now that we've gotten rid of the emotion, what the of missing out part is reaction instead of action, right? Remember when we talked about being an actor that's going to go on stage instead of a football player that has to react and act at the same time? If we're well rehearsed and we go on stage and we nail our lines and we do the perfect positions, the play is going to be a hit. All we're doing is acting on what we have rehearsed, right? Not reacting to anything. If you're reacting, it means you have a lack of data, which gives you the lack of confidence. Therefore, you're reacting instead of just clicking the mouse when you're supposed to. Like Zach keeps talking about this. A little bit ago, he talked about this big green line. Okay. That big green bar right there, how many people didn't take those trades? Most of you didn't take those trades. Why? Because you felt it was reactionary. You felt FOMO. Well, I can't do this. It's FOMO, right? Then when you enter the trade, it's too late.
Rev, tag me in real quick. Here's
Go
something
ahead.
that just came to my mind. Here's the other thing too, guys. Like I can't see the time. The time is relevant, but I'll just say that time of that trade was 9:35 a.m. and there's 100 people in the room, and everybody took it except for me and Andy and Fast Joey. Us three were busy listening to the new Metallica release, and we missed it. We missed out. Everybody's celebrating. Horn, Rev's got the horn blowing, and meanwhile, me, Andy, and Joey, we missed it. I did not wake up that morning with my central goal and my entire sense of purpose hinging on whether I took a trade today at 9:35. That's not my goal. My goal is to wake up, turn on my computer, boot up the brokerages, and extract money to the market to the degree that I hit my target, and then that's my day. All I need to do in order to hit my target is to take 3 or 4 trades. There's always 10 to 20 trades out there. So I don't fear, first of all, fear. Fear?
Shouldn't exist. Right.
That's a strong word, man. I mean, I reserve that to people putting a gun to my head, but it just, yeah, guys, I mean, I hate to sound like Mr. Rogers, but you just got to take that stinking thinking and throw it away. It doesn't help. It really doesn't help at all. I mean, so in other words, if that trade was at 9:35 a.m., there's nothing in my ego that says, "Don't you dare miss that 9:35 trade tomorrow. Don't you miss it." You missed it, you piece of shit. Because what Zach's doing, he's like, shit, Joey, we missed that one. Oh, well, fuck it, we'll get the next one. Right. Oh, look at this big red short. Yeah, let's take it.
Boom, next trade, right? Next.
Our only goal is to execute trades. That's our only job in life is to execute proper trades. That's our only job.
Now think about what he just said.
And to take off and to execute 10,000 of them.
Think about what he just said. Our only job is to execute trades. Okay, so why are we not executing trades? Well, because I thought that, last time I lost, or, this time and that time. Okay, so how do we get to the point where all you do is just execute the trades? The way that you get to the point to just execute the trades is through the scientific process. Period. There's
write down the reason. The reason I didn't take that trade is ... And I mean, you literally have to go in your backyard and burn that piece of paper to do it. But or hire a hypnotherapist. I've gone to a hypnotherapist a number of times. I had a real problem with slipping my stop for probably about 8 years. It's real. It's real. Now, why would you slip a stop?
Trying to be right.
Yeah, your ego. Yep. Your ego says there's no way that I'm wrong in this one trade.
Are you guys listening to this? Because I know every one of you slip your stops. Are you listening to this? The only reason you slip your stop is trying to be right. So to remove the way to remove the need to be right, what do? We get our coach, and our coach tells us what to do. Okay, period. That's how this works, right? If we're going to be a professional in any other thing in the world, we get a coach.
You went quiet, Rev.
I'm here. That was the end of it.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to slipping stops, and your ego says, this trade has to win. One of the things I have burned into my brain, one of my mantras is proper losing trades. Now remember, that word proper is important. Proper losing trades are a part of the winning system. Now, as long as you fully can integrate that into your brain and understand the importance of that statement, proper losing trades are part of the winning system. There's no reason to slip a stop. Cool. I gotta, hey, Rev, you know what? I just took a trade and it lost. High five, part of my winning system. There's no as long as it's a proper trade and it loses, it's just a trade in the sequence. And are you guys looking to make $10 million this week? Or are you looking to make $10 million over the next 10 years? Because if you're looking to make $10 million over the next 10 years, you're going to have some shitty sequences, which are bad for you if they're not proper. But as long as they are proper, they're just a part of the system. That's all it is. I mean, why should this be anything different than any other part of life? I mean, if you're a surfer and you wake up in the morning and it's overcast with lightning and rain, you may not surf that day. Okay, so what? Take a break, relax, rehab, get stronger. And I mean, there's just so many examples in life where taking a step backwards is the best move.
Does that sound familiar to anyone in here?
I mean, if any of you were leading an army, is retreat off the table? Is move to the left flank? Is that off the table? You need to be able to read and adjust. And proper losses are a part of a winning system.
That's hard for a lot of people to digest, Zach. You want to elaborate on that? That's one of the hardest things that newer traders or not yet profitable traders can. It's hard for them to digest. But when I say that when we have all three things go green, you just hit market, or not? Excuse me, you don't hit market. You just execute the trades. It's binary. When we say that it's binary, what do we mean? Go and talk about that in the psychological standpoint.
Man, it's funny how many times I've seen a trade that couldn't lose. The millisecond that I get in. I mean, we've all had that, the one tick, Rick, and
that's our buddy.
And the PP touches.
Yeah.
And then I mean, there's entire books that are written on, the concept that the market makers can see your trade and they're hunting your stop. And the amount of times that you get stopped out to the tick and then it reverses right back to your take profit. And you thoroughly convince yourself that, that some guy in London is hunting your 3 tick or hunting your 3 contracts.
he needed your 3 to fill his 800 contract order.
We got him, boss. I want my bonus.
Here it is. It's full. All right, we can go to lunch now. You're cool. Get out of here with that nonsense. Oh man. So binary, like executing binarily. Okay, yes or no. On the mental side, Zach, how do you deal with that? Right? Because I know that your system is a lot like ours. You're just on a different chart where if you're on the 10 range, your 34 goes above your 200, you just execute whatever pattern you take. How do you deal with that mentally? This is what all of my traders, this is the hump that my traders are trying to get through.
I visualize a lot. And as soon as you ask me, this is what I visualize.
Pay attention, traders, please. This is the answer.
If you guys have ever been to the horse racetrack before, especially close up to the starting gate, and you look in the horse's eyes and they're snorting and they're spitting and their eyes are bugging out of their heads and they're just waiting to watch. But what are they waiting for? They're waiting for that gate to break open. And the second that gate breaks open, there's no wonder they use that term horsepower for physics and cars and things like that. When you look at the muscles and their eyeballs and their breathing, snorting and just that poor jockey. I mean, you worry about these damn jockeys while they're in the starting gate. As soon as all conditions are met, now this is where I'm making the transition, right? As soon as all transitions are met and that gate breaks open, what does that horse do?
One job.
It explodes. And it doesn't, and it might get steered to the right or steered to the right or steered to the right or steered to the left. Or maybe, maybe their jockey eases them up a little bit or gives them a little bit more of the whip. But you look at so anyway, to me, that's the visual metaphor that I like for taking a trade, that it doesn't matter how geeked up you are. Like, I can literally be sitting here shaking, saying, I want to get my first trade of the day off, and man, it's flat like the last couple of days, right?
That's what everybody's struggling with.
You're sitting there and it's flat, and you're just aching to make a trade.
Type a Y in the chat if that were you. Type a Y in the chat if you struggled this week. Oh, I got it, man. What is the deal? This is going flat. Watch this, Zach. Watch it. Keep carrying on, but watch how many people hit Y. Go ahead. So right. Zach, you were just saying you're geeking out.
Yeah. You guys, that is common, and that is good, as long as you have a really good starting gate. Like, there's nothing wrong with being geeked up and being ready to go, but you got to wait for that proper trade to signal. You know, these are the times you got to be careful, because those are the times that you tend to go cowboy, and it was supposed to go long, yeah, but it wasn't even the right side of the 200. You're like, oh, shit.
Did you guys just hear what he just said?
I skipped right over rule number 1.
Yeah. Are you guys catching this? I wanted to go long, but I was under the 200, or I was under the VWAP. Does this sound familiar to anyone that took a loss? Think about the trades that we just went over before Zach got on the phone. They were all one out of sequence, right? There was one thing that wasn't right, and that's what made you lose.
And again, the absolute worst thing can happen to you in your trading career. The absolute worst thing can happen is having that shit ass trade win.
Oh, okay. Now, are you guys hearing what he just said? Say it again. Say it exactly like you just said it. Listen, everybody, this is more important than anything you've heard today.
The worst thing you can do is blow the gate and get into a trade that's improper, meaning that the gate was not released at the proper time. You dove into something where, let's say if you need 5 conditions to get into a trade and just 1 or 2 of them were not there, but you just knew that was going to profit. You knew it. You could see it. It's there, man. I can see it. I can see the matrix. Like, it's there. I got to take it. And then you take it, and it's off system. It's not proper. The worst thing can happen in your trading career, the worst thing, is that you make money in that trade, because all that does is reinforce a negative habit. And what is that negative habit? My rules don't matter.
Oh, it's 4 out of 5 are good. 4 out of 5 were good. 4 out of 5 are good.
I mean, are they rules? Are they suggestions? Are they vague concepts? Or are they hints? Here's the problem with getting subjective, is that it's easy to be subjective at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 contracts, but you will never. You want to never go cowboy ever again? Put enough money in your account where you can click on 100 contracts. You won't go cowboy. Your trading finger is gonna be directly tied to your butthole, and it's all gonna freeze. and you're like, wait, hold on, what were those rules again? You're gonna want those rules really badly, because they're the ones that are gonna keep you within the valid system. Within the valid rules. Those of you that have kids, I don't know how well you raise your kids, but the way my dad raised me is he basically put his hands up almost like a touchdown sign. And he basically told me, he goes, listen, here are the boundaries. We can have a lot of fun inside the boundaries. Go outside the boundaries, and I'm going to hurt you bad. And guess what I did? I said, cool, Dad. I'm going to put one toe outside the boundary. And he hurt me bad. And I went back inside, and we had the best relationship for the rest of our lives. This is no different. you have to establish boundaries. Now, what are your boundaries? Like, now maybe you are a volume based trader, maybe you're a swing trader, maybe you're I don't know. I mean, maybe your entire system is just to do whatever Nancy Pelosi's husband does. And that's your whole system. Fine, no problem. Don't break it. Stick with it, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. Okay, so we've got about 2 minutes left. Zach, I just want to say thank
Zach
you.
would be a fantastic parent. Andy, I'll give you my address. You can write my daughter a letter.
He has a stepdaughter, so he is a fantastic parent. He is a parent. It's just not biologically his, right?
The definition of a stepdad, and this goes for stepmoms too, but the definition of a stepdad, me and my stepdad buddies agree. The definition of a great stepdad is he who eats another man's shit. It's rough, man. It is rough.
I have a stepson, so I understand it. Okay, we're gonna wrap this bad boy up here.
You're not my real dad.
Let's get everybody to give Zach a big thank you. We've got 92 people in here. Let's hit it. I have a meeting here in about 5 minutes, which was supposed to be about 25 minutes ago. I spaced it. That was a different time. Let's get a thanks, everybody. This will be, I believe, on VOD. We'll probably do some clips out of this. If you have a favorite clip of what Zach said, clip it. Go back and hit the clip button. You don't have to send it to us. Lexi and Elijah can see the clips. Okay. So if there's something you really, really liked, okay, and you want to hear it again, clip it, and we can clip it and make it a little thing for you. With that being said, everybody, we're going to end the stream. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Happy Easter if you celebrate. Thanks, Zach, everybody. Thank you for coming on this no market day. These are the days that you learn. Look, these are the days that you learn. When the market is closed, when your healing is when you're sleeping, right? So let's say that the market is sleeping. Okay, you're healing right now. You're building power. With that being said, everybody, good night and happy